This video will make you confident, and in celebration of doing that for you today, I'm wearing this beautiful red dress. I don't think you can see the whole thing, but it is gorgeous. Definitely not appropriate for the occasion at hand, but I figured, why the hell not? So, we're going to talk about exactly what steps I had to take in my journey to go from truly someone that hated myself, hated what I looked like, constantly compared myself to other people, who was so self-critical, who was never doing enough, like classic people pleaser and perfectionist, to someone who loves my body, loves taking care of my body, loves tuning into how I feel, has the highest quality relationships and dating, friendships, family relationships, the people you can't change and swap out, and connections with the rest of the world and my career than I have ever had in my entire life. And this is an art. It is an art that you can learn. It's a skill. It's a skill you can learn, and I'm going to teach you that skill. This will make you confident if you stick to what I have to say, if you actually listen and apply, and you don't make excuses for yourself, because everyone can do what I'm about to say. And that is me believing in you. Everyone's story is unique, but let's dive in, right? Let's be fucking confident. The first thing that we need to talk about is your self-talk. Like, no more being mean to yourself. Is it working? Is it working? Is being so critical towards yourself helping you? And maybe you have the tendency to say yes, like, yeah, I hold myself accountable. But how do you feel when someone yells at you versus when someone tells you that you're doing an amazing job, sweetie, right? Like, there's a huge difference. So negative self-talk, yeah, it makes you constantly think about how you're performing, but it doesn't actually help you perform better. Versus when you are kind to yourself, it is so much easier to show up for yourself every day and to take risks and to make changes in your life and to just be your most authentic self because you believe in yourself. And also because you're not stressing yourself the fuck out by being mean to yourself all the time. That literally burns your energy and takes away your attention. So with your self-talk, there's 4 major steps in my self-talk formula. I have this in another YouTube video, but I'll go over them really quickly with you. Number 1, awareness that your self-talk is really fucking negative. Congratulations, we probably have already done that one. I did that one for a long time before I actually made a change. This is simply called awareness. Awareness is essential to becoming more confident by changing your self-talk. Step number 2 is acknowledging where this might have come from in the past. So who in your life or what in your life in usually your really young years made you so hard on yourself? I want you to understand exactly who or what that was, not so that we can blame them and deflect responsibility, but so that you can understand that your negative self-talk is not your truth. It is just the narrative that has been created for you and that you are now perpetuating. And then we're going to change that narrative. So step number 3, let's challenge our self-talk. Does this belief help you move forward? Does it feel good to hear this about yourself? Maybe you're telling yourself, like, I need to lose weight, or I need to be less obnoxious and loud and quieter and take up less space when I go out, or I need to be more perfect at work. Like, I need to be better at this. It's really embarrassing for me to not know how to do something or need to ask a question. Does this help you learn something new? Does this help you move forward? Does it feel good? The answer to those questions is almost always no. And if the answer to the question is no, this thought does not belong in your... And then step number 4 is transforming that thought. So what thought would actually feel more self-loving, would feel kinder, but also like motivating? So if your thought is, I need to lose weight in order to be attractive, or to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or to be good enough in my life, to make other people proud, a thought that we might transform that to is, what my appearance looks like does not decide who I am or how I am. For me, what really decides how I see myself is how authentically I show up, how much space I allow myself to take up, because I have so much to offer the world. And so the self-talk, the new belief that we've transformed that negative one into, is more something along the lines of, I have gifts to offer the world, and I want to show up and provide those gifts for others and attract more people like me who make me feel good and who I can help. So positive self-talk is the first thing that we need to embody. And this is something that is progress over perfection. I don't want you to be hard on yourself for hearing that and being like, okay, I'll just be nice to myself now, because you'll find that it doesn't happen overnight. It's something I'm still working on 5 years after going on my self-healing journey, but you can obviously tell that it's going pretty good. And it's been a micro step every day to feel more and more confident about myself, not just one gigantic shift that happened overnight. So take those 4 steps: awareness, questioning where it comes from, challenging it, and transforming it, and start to try and tackle just 1 or 2 small thoughts each day that are maybe not the kindest, self-loving, or most productive. And that's where we start, with making our self-talk just 1% more positive each day. You can pair this with the next thing that is essential to becoming confident, which is self-reflection. And self-reflection is not the same as self-criticism. If you think you're self-aware, but all you do is focus on all of the things that you are not good at, or you should be better at, or you wish were different about yourself, you are not self-aware, you are just a hater. Someone said this to me and it completely changed my life, because now what I do in my self-reflection is I do focus on my goals and I focus on the things I want to change, but I also focus on the things that I am kicking ass at in life, or I am just naturally good at, the ways that I show up as a good friend or a good coach to my clients, which is like the favorite thing that I do in my life, or the ways I push myself on the days that are hard, and all of the other little and huge wins that I'm having in my life. Another non-negotiable to becoming more confident is removing the haters from your life. We just talked about being a hater to yourself, so we're working on that. But you can't stop being a hater to yourself and then keep people in your life who are haters to you. And this sounds super dramatic maybe to some people, but really when I look back on my younger years, I see the people who were upset when I started to like myself more, because it made them uncomfortable and they were insecure, or they were afraid that if I stopped being someone who didn't love my body, didn't heal from my eating disorders, who didn't find my confidence, if I stopped being that person, then I would stop being the people pleaser who did favors for them, or the bigger friend, or the insecure friend who was too afraid to talk to boys, so they always got the attention. I don't want those people in my life, because they don't uplift me, they don't teach me something, they don't make me a better version of myself, and they don't allow me to be my fullest self and present all of my gifts to the world as well. So, a question that I answer for myself every single month on the first of every month is: who, what, and where feels good, and who doesn't? Who is really important, right? Like, who do you need boundaries with? Who do you need to end relationships with? Who makes you feel amazing, right? Like, we really want to spend more time with those people, those places. Yeah, the locations is huge. Like, don't go to the places that make you feel insecure, not because you're struggling with your security, but because they're places that maybe aren't in alignment with who you are. Like, I don't mean insecure like I don't like what I look like. I mean insecure like it makes me question who I am. Places like this for me are like bars. I'm not a big drinker. I know that drinking just doesn't make me feel very good. It makes my chronic pain flare up. And I like hanging out in places where I can have a real conversation. So when I go to the bars, I feel insecure in the sense that I think like, why am I the only one who's not having a good time? Am I a bad friend for wishing that I was somewhere else? But the reality is that being at a place like a bar, like a loud bar on a Friday night when I'd rather be at home, like doing some self-care, hanging out with some friends, or watching a movie, is that it's out of alignment with who I actually am. So when you're fostering community and connection and a better internal environment that allows you to be more confident, you have to be honest about who does and doesn't feel good, what and where does and doesn't feel good. I would give the biggest examples, and this is with so much compassion, because I have done all of these things in the past. The what's that I hear the most often from my clients, like the habits they want to break, the things that don't make them feel good, are comparing themselves to other people, spending too much time scrolling, vaping, drinking alcohol, and dating people who make them feel like shit. I have done all of those things in the past, and I'm really grateful to not do any of them almost ever anymore. Nobody's perfect, but I feel so much more confident when I stop doing the things that are not in alignment with myself, and you will too, because you show yourself that you are worthy of feeling good and of being taken good care of. And that is a huge part of self-confidence. We often think that self-confidence is this like jumping into the YouTube video wearing this bright red dress, and like it is sometimes. It's strutting and knowing you're the shit and taking a bunch of selfies and posting thirst traps. Yeah, that's confidence for some people sometimes. But real confidence is taking good care of yourself and believing in who you are, and that that person deserves to be recognized and to feel good and to take up space in the world. So we're doing a community audit. Who, what, and where. And it's so incredibly empowering. The last thing that you need to do, absolutely need, I slacked on this for years. Even when my self-confidence was so much higher, this was one of the pieces that was just missing for so long. And it is a future visualization and a past appreciation. We are so often overwhelmed, anxious. I struggled with anxiety disorders and depression for a very long time, and I have pulled myself out of that through therapy, through coaching, through counseling, through inner work, through doing all of the things I'm telling you now. But one of the biggest ways that I was able to do that is that I implemented past reflection and appreciation and future visualization on a regular basis. And this doesn't have to be like a vision board and super in-depth and inner child healing and all of this intense stuff to reflect on your past and where you've come from and where you want to go. For me, this is just simple questions that I ask myself in my monthly journaling, which is like, what were my biggest wins this month? And where do I want to be in a year? That was a great one going into 2025, and it really set an empowering tone. But the reason you need to do this is because so many of us exist in survival mode, in scarcity, in anxiety, in overwhelm, and we are so focused on the present and just how to get through the present moment, like not in a way that we feel present, just in a way that we are like willing the current moment away. Like, oh my God, I just need to get through today. Like, I just need to get through work. We don't have things that we're looking forward to. We don't have things that we're excited for. We don't have things that we know are going to make us feel good in the future, and therefore something that we know we're creating. We don't have goals that feel achievable because we're chipping away at them each and every day. And then you also don't have appreciation for how far you've come. It is so important to understand that even if you have somewhere you want to be, it is so important to reflect and appreciate where you have come from. Again, this is a huge piece that I was missing for so long, and implementing simple reflections and appreciation and visualization for my past and present self has brought me so much actual presence and excitement for the future and love for who I am. So I've talked super fast at you, but there's so much that you can do to feel confident that doesn't have to be these gigantic life changes. It is simply trying to shift your perspective from I'm not enough to I am worthy as I am. And if you want more intentional, consistent help with this, this is literally what people sign up for me to help them do all the time. These are the mentorships that I run. I am a body image and confidence coach, and I help my clients, my women, have the strongest wellness habits from a place of self-love and to embrace body love and body neutrality and confidence every single day. So there's always my email and my Instagram where you can DM me in the description of the video, and you can inquire about what I have open right now for offerings, for private mentorships, for group mentorships, and for my online platform as well, which is a really amazing subscription service that you can be a part of for a really low fee every month. But even if that's not the right path for you, if you have gotten anything from this video, I'm going to strongly encourage you to give it a like, to comment what resonated with you, to boost your algorithm, to show you more content like this. And if you want to learn more from me and you don't mind this powerful as fuck energy from someone who loves themselves truly and is very confident in who I am, both in all of the ways that I love myself and all of the ways I'm growing, then make sure you subscribe as well, because I would love to hear from you. I would love to teach more, and it really, really helps the channel grow as well, to reach more people and to create even more powerful content that's going to help you move forward. So Being confident does not have to be complicated. Being confident does not come from a certain body size. It just comes from small steps that you take each day. And coming from someone who truly was down bad, depressed, anxious, hated my body, hated myself for so long, I just want you to know that it is completely possible for you. No matter what you look like, no matter where you're from, no matter what your situation is, customizing this kind of process to your daily life, holding space for how far you've come and all that you've already conquered. You've conquered 100% of your worst days, babe. And then knowing how to move forward is what gives you the confidence to show up in the world as yourself and live your best life. I'll see you next time. I love you.